I used to struggle with making concrete progress towards the goals that I wanted to achieve. I'd set clear intentions for the new year, but then I realized after the year has passed that nothing has changed. That got me to be extremely depressed and even question my capabilities. I was already insecure. I was already thinking like I wasn't good enough, and this didn't help me to overcome those things either. I wanted to have a better looking physique, and I didn't have it. I wanted to have better people around me, and that didn't happen either. I wanted to become the greatest artist in Belgium. Well, guess what? I'm not. Everything was still the same, just like me. What I didn't know back then, that I know today, is nothing was going to change if I didn't change first. And in order to be able to change, I needed to know what I value, because it was only when I figured out what I value that I was able to make the decisions that were aligned towards becoming the person that I wanted to be, that I was finally getting closer towards achieving the goals that I desired. Because before that, all the decisions that I was making contradicted that what I wanted to achieve. Let me take you back a couple of years ago. I was on my way to a New Year's party. I'd made plans with a friend, and I told him like, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come to you. And while I was on my way there, he cancels last minute because he wanted to do something completely different. And I remember getting back home and I was so completely pissed off. I was so angry that you see that whiteboard at the back? I had written down on that whiteboard that the things that I then valued about people. I told myself like, I'm not gonna hang around with liars anymore. I'm not gonna hang around with people who make false promises. I'm not gonna hang around with people who suddenly wanna change plans last minute. And especially for the reason for why he did it. He just wanted to be with a girl. And then he cancels last minute on multiple people just to be with a girl. And the thing about this all is, I valued honesty in people. So it was my responsibility, because I knew that guy for a long time, that he wasn't going to keep his word. Like everybody that knows him knows that he is the way that he is. He is exactly like that. And I always told myself that I cannot hang around with liars, with people who cannot keep the promise. And still, I was friends with him. And still, I decided to go to a New Year's party with him, knowing all of these things. And I was contradicting my own values, and as a result, I was unhappy. I was hanging around with people that I didn't want to hang around with, actually. People who I couldn't rely on. And so that's my own fault. I didn't acknowledge that I value honesty, because I was quite a lonely person, and I never really had a lot of friends. And so out of sheer emotion, out of sheer the desire of just wanting to fit in, to be part of a group, to have people around me, to be able to tell myself I have friends, I would settle for things that were below my values. And so one of my values is also self-respect. So every decision that I make is aligned to me respecting myself. Because the thing with core values is that if you are not aligned with your core values, with that what you care about, then your life isn't going to be a fun life. Because in the back of your mind, like, you know that feeling, you're about to make a decision and you know it's the wrong decision to make. Like you just know it inside of your belly, inside of your gut. Well, that is your natural core values telling you that what you're doing is not okay. You may not be aware of what that is. This is how you can find out what your core values are, by just listening to your body and listening to what it's telling you. Or when somebody does something that you feel like super strange and super odd, you have that gut feeling like, this doesn't sit right with me. That's the core value of you. And so address in every situation in your life what that is for you, because that is the quickest way to find out what you value. And so every time that I lied to somebody, I would feel that. I would feel that gut-wrenching, damaging sensation in my belly that I'm doing something wrong. And that's how I figured out that, okay, honesty is a core value that I have. And every time that I don't respect myself, where I don't make decisions that are aligned to honesty, which as a result means that I don't respect a value that I have, I don't feel good about myself. And I believe that a big part of my depression, a big part of my unhappiness in life came from me not being aligned to my core values. And so with every new year that came, I wasn't growing. I wasn't making progress because I had not properly written out for myself, what is it that I care about? What is it that I truly am aligned with? What is it truly that I stand behind? And so once I had figured that out, I was able to make concrete progress towards the goals that I wanted. And as I lived up to my values developed. And by having addressed my values, I've been able to rebrand myself completely, to become a completely different person than I was before. Back in the past, I was smoking weed. In the past, I would play video games. In the past, I would watch porn. But when I addressed my values and addressed who I wanted to be, I saw how it was contradicting each other. And I realized like, okay, this is not the way that I'm supposed to live. This is not the way that I want my future self to live. Okay, so I gotta change this. I gotta do something about this. And I had to take action. I had to take my responsibility, knowing that what I wanted to achieve, and and do everything that I can within my given power to do that every single day. And so it's been years now that I've been on this path of aligning myself to my core values. You know, sometimes you slip, sometimes you drift, and that happens. But you always got to bring yourself back, acknowledge that you've made a mistake, and keep on pushing. And whatever the decision that I make today, my values are reflected into them. The people that I have around me today are people who have self-respect, are people who have values, are people who are honest to me, people who don't really lie to me, people who don't lie to me. And the people that I have within my group, they know that I value this. And I promise you that if you know what your core values are and you start aligning yourself towards your core values, that you eventually become a way happier person, that you'll be able to get out of your depression, that you'll be able to get out of your unhappy situation that you are in. You have to know what you want. And the only way to find out what you want and to what you care about is to take action and to figure it out, to listen to your body, to listen to your internal gut feeling, which will guide you towards the right path. I want to wish you a very nice day. And remember that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. Make the hard decision today, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.